other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15.
54 Mike. Switch. Come on, switch it. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Save. Shift.
First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Now Joe Mixon, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
Mike 54. Let's go. Real. Mike 5-4. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Check 99. He's coming. We got double up.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Run. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Tighten up. Pull it together.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. Open man is Higgins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That leads us to a first and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice it wasn't about it. Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Hey, bro, 80.
Now a carry for Bernard. Oh, he's got some breathing room. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Rivers on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But it'll be second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
A second down throw for Rivers. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. He's got his man, Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for first and 10. Again, it's Rivers. He gets this one to Boyd. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third.
Check. Red Delta!
To throw is Rivers. He completes it to Boyd. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Left!
And that'll set him back 5.
All day, baby, all day.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game. They get it to Funchess on the jet sweep. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
All day, baby, all day. Tighten up. Hey, go orange. Check, orange. White, 54. Time to go, night.
From the 30 on second down, Rivers throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Devin Funchess with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
You ain't going nowhere. Regular.
Mayfield down. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 44-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Under 10. 10. 22 jet bomber. Kings.
Mayfield on play action. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Hey, alert 33.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Pistol. Line 36. Line 36.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, some credit there to A.J. Green because he's so tough to cover. Sometimes he causes those penalties.
And he's one of the more difficult guys to cover in the NFL because of his ability to do just about anything on a route. Hard to do. Creates a lot of pass interference calls.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career. Smooth.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rivers got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. They'll run. Anderson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Rivers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
3rd and goal for Rivers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Hey, watch this.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Set, 20. 54. Hey, alert. Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man. That's Landry. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Mayfield. And he's got this down to the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
17 more yards. That's another Browns first down.
Mayfield now, nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
They'll run on first down. Anderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Load it. Load it. Check.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. It's caught by Funchess. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. Now that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a third to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team at that point.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Jet sweep, Boyd with it, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Red! I'm coming after you. He's checking. Hey, Delta!
Rivers now. Finding Green complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
To throw, Rivers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10.
I'm coming. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Switch.
It's Mixon on the counter. And an alley to run. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Rivers. And that's complete. It's Green here. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
380. Check. Watch 54.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. He's got his man, Boyd. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play fake, Rivers. He's got Green. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On 1st and 10, Rivers. He completes it to Boyd. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
Hey, bro, 80.
54. Watch the run.
12.
South, baby. That's big South. Right there. 54, right there.
Hey, seam 6.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go.
Throwing again. Rivers. Green brings it in. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Third down.
Set. 390.
Come on. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
The Bengals take over.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
Rivers to throw it. He's going to loft this one deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Check. Watch 54. You.
On third down, Rivers. And Eifert has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On first down, it's Anderson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13.
Hey, Rocket.
Rivers. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long.
I got you. Slam.
Easy.
To throw is Rivers. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
54, Mike, 54.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Slam. Back. Go.
It's a foot race. 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, 70 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta!
To throw again. Rivers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Play action now. Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Kirksey. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line.
It's a gain of 25 yards.
A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap, came right back and threw one deep. hoping to catch them on their heels.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
He gets this one to Boyd. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. From the red zone now, Rivers. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Again, it's Rivers. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Brandon Marshall.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. This fielded at the 2. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, Delta.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And some room to work. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Joe Mixon with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Alert, alert. Hey, Echo.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Stay with your man.
54.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
36, Bengals 19.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Run 80.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Rivers now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player, not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Returnable here for Callaway. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the third quarter. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about...
And he's into the clear. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Rivers. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rivers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rivers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
The Browns drive about to get started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Mayfield now, pretty amazing, 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. The throw taken in by Cole. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Set. 180.
54. Mike, 54.
King.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Mayfield with it once more. Going back to Landry. This time he's got him complete. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll run with Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Here we go. No. Big ass.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Baker Mayfield doing it himself from 9 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Run 80. Start.
First down, Rivers. He's going to go deep for Funchess. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing Rivers. On the screen, Bernard. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And boy, he can get hurt.
To throw again on second down. Rivers, they almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Rivers again. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Rivers to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Uzomah. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
10th carry now for Anderson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. On 2nd and 15 now. Rivers, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Check safety, check safety.
Load it, load it.
To throw, Rivers. He's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
he's got the lane, and there he goes. The 30, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point try by Bailey. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Rivers on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Toss play. This is Anderson. And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 31-yard line.
First down, Cincinnati.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Rivers to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. They toss it left side to Anderson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, they put it all together on that one. Good vision, good blocking. A toss play to the left. How do you toss it?
Yeah, a toss is the underhand kind of egg toss. The pitch is kind of, if you're running the option, you pitch it end over end, correct?
Yeah, I agree
you're
totally.
The guy.
I agree totally.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit.
57, Bengals 30.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Well, let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield, and he's got the hook up to Landry. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Real.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Going deep here for Landry. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mayfield to throw it. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Mayfield, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Again, Anderson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And it's 3rd down.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop their 7th game on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.